Hi, you're on ProChargerVideos.com, and this is our video, How to Dyno Your Boosted Engine. I'm Steve Morris, and from New Era Racecraft. The first thing we're going to show you on engine, how to dyno your boosted engine. We get a very large amount of complaints about people taking their engine to a dyno shop, burning the motor up within 1 or 2 pulls, because it's not because the guys don't know what they're doing, it's just that they don't have any experience on boosted engines. This video is going to help you out a lot. First things first, fuel system. This is a proper fuel system. Now, proper pump. I'm telling you right now, if that dyno has a Barry Grant fuel pump, probably is not going to work. I wouldn't even probably waste your time on it yet. Proper fuel pump. The best series, this is a MagnaFuel 750 Pro Star pump. Okay, don't mind the wires hanging around there, it's for a portable stand. Okay, directly on the tank, line test 10 line goes directly up to the regulator. Okay, pumps are critical. They need to be big enough, they need to have high enough pressure. Guaranteed this pump is going to feed over 2,000 horsepower, 2400 in a gasoline blow-through application. Now this is a good example of a good fuel system, plumbed correctly. This is a MagnaFuel 500 pump. Plumbed correctly into the bypass, directly into the fuel cell, no restrictions. Going up into, now this is a non-boost referenced regulator. These regulators are not going to work if you go to somebody else's dyno and use their system. Now here's something that is key to this. Let's see if I can get a little better light on it. When you go to a dyno and you see these fuel flow turbines. Now this fuel flow turbine is a typical fuel flow turbine that you're going to see on a Superflow and on DTS dyno. Now these turbines are good for 1,300 horsepower, naturally aspirated. Alright, now we're going to go out and look at the numbers. Alright, now we just made that steady pull. We come out here and you need to look at this. First thing, see that? We just collected data. You saw how short the pull was. Not going to hurt anything like that. It only went up 3966. Horsepower, torque, that's all nice. Doesn't really matter. But what we're looking at here, first off, while I was dynoing it, here I'll show you my graph numbers, or my bar. Right while I was dynoing it, I'm looking at the O2s and watching it as it was running. If this thing skyrocketed up to 15 to 1, shut it off. Getting jerky, it really starts bouncing around quite a bit and just kind of labors over. 90% of the time it doesn't have enough timing in it. Now, anytime you're adding timing, you better make sure that it has enough fuel in it. It'll look like that. You can't do it. The only way you can do a proper plug read is put a new clean plug in the motor, run it down the track, shut it off at the big end, pull the spark plug out at the big end, or pull the car back into the pits. You cannot drive it and get a good plug read. It has to be done and shut off, preferably at wide open throttle. On dyno, the same thing. On dyno, typically you might end up having to get 2 dyno pulls on it to get a real good reading, because it goes a little quicker and you just don't have quite the same amount of time on it. But you're going to have to do it the same way. Short, don't let it sit there and idle. Don't drive it back. Don't let it sit there and idle on the dyno. And that is proper way of reading plugs.